All right, recording started. So perfect. Let's go ahead and talk and jump into tonight's conversation. Reason that we're here, something that Pastor Ojed and I had talked about doing, and we had started it a while back, was just being able to have this conversation around our current state of affairs and how how the local ministries are being impacted. Let me come on. Yeah, I'm just sitting.
There we go.
I'm like,
I was wondering where was I gonna see you tonight.
All right, so look, I'm so ready to get the conversation started. All right, now I can be seen perfect. So again, I'm Cornelius Austin out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and I'm partnered with some of the greatest people across the country. And Pastor Ojed is going to be my co-host tonight, and we want to have a conversation around what's going on, not just in our economy, but how it's impacting our local ministries. And we're just going to have an open and honest conversation tonight. So now that I'm off camera, Pastor O, if you would make sure I get a mic check so I can be heard over here. I think I got good audio.
All right.
Perfect.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Perfect, loud and clear. All right, so look, so here's kind of where we are now. With our current state of affairs, I'm not going to rehearse the obvious. A lot of us know, COVID-19, we've seen a dramatic, literally a dramatic shift in the economy. We've seen a dramatic shift literally in the world. Never would we thought we'd see today where NBA playoffs are being played in a bubble, where we've got virtual fans. Never would we thought we would see Major League Baseball, soccer, football, schools closed or doing online virtual classrooms. Never would we thought we would see the day where even the church would not be able to get together and fellowship and congregate. So it's literally caused the world to do a 180. And so we want to talk about like how that's impacting the church, how that's impacting the pastors, the leaders, how it's impacting the overall ministry, how it's impacting the members. And we don't want to talk. Yeah, we'll kind of go through the challenge right now. But let's talk about solution and how we can all come out of this quarantine better. One of the things that I know for a fact, growing up in church, times have changed. And so we have some leaders, and if you're on this Zoom or if you're joining Facebook, a lot of people who are joining us, you're either a pastor or a leader of an auxiliary, or you're heavy, have a lot of influence or are very active within a ministry. And so let's just talk about facts. Let's talk about it. With the churches being closed, there's a significant impact, because let's think about now the time faith has shifted. Would you say that, Pastor Ojed? Would you say the level of people's faith has shifted from what it used to be? Would you say that's correct?
Absolutely.
So, and then, the thing is, it used to be years ago, people had faith to believe it until they see it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's different. People want to see it before they can believe it,
Right.
And here's kind of the thing that's happening financially. The world, we're at an all-time high with unemployment.
Right.
Ministries have had to literally take a pivot. And if you're taking notes, write this down. In times of crisis, that's a time to pivot, not panic, right? And what I mean by that is a lot of ministries have had to make a significant pivot. I remember, and I'm gonna make light of it. I remember years ago when the internet first came about, there were a lot of pastors and ministry leaders that was, the internet is the devil, right? Man, COVID-19 hit. People couldn't get in the sanctuary. They started going live. They started doing Facebook Live. They started doing live streaming. And they were like, thank God for the internet.
Right.
So that's caused the church to pivot. Here's one thing that did not change. Even though the church remained open and it made that pivot, the one thing that did not change is its expenses. Its operating expenses to stay open.
Right.
Now, on a more serious note, a lot of your members now are, and a lot of us, even some of you on this Zoom, are experiencing the impact of COVID-19, where jobs are, we're at an all-time high with unemployment. Companies have closed. Companies are now having people work from home. And what they figured out is, you know what? We don't really need 50 people in the office. We can get the work done with 25 at home. So
Right.
we don't need that facility and we don't need those 25. So that's causing unemployment to go up. Now, how does that impact the people in the pews? Now, let's be honest. People in the pews are being frustrated because being part of a ministry, that's not a bad thing. Being part of a ministry, there are financial obligations that everyone has to take care of at home. But then there are financial obligations that the ministry faces as well. And with unemployment, people losing jobs, companies now being closed for as long as they have, suspending operations, most people are in a position where they're not going to get a pay raise. In fact, most people are probably going to get a pay cut. And even the side of pay raises, you look at companies that have been closed for 3, 4, 5 months or suspended operations. When they open, they're not going to be in a position to give people a pay raise, probably for the next 5 years. Yet here's what we say and what people hear a lot, and it's producing frustration. And that is, when you take care of God's house, he'll take care of yours. And that is true. I don't dispute that at all. What's happening is people are now having to make life decisions because there are economic conditions that's going up, as well as the ministry needs to operate as well. In a nutshell, that's the framework for what I want to lay for the purpose of tonight's call. I'm going to ask, so there are 4 financial challenges that we got to understand. There are 4 financial challenges that we all have to overcome if we're going to succeed financially. The first challenge is inflation. Pastor O, can you kind of give them a definition to kind of outline, like, what is inflation? We got textbook stuff. We don't really sometimes we don't understand it. We're not taught this stuff in school. But, like, what is your definition of inflation and how is it impacting people?
Inflation is basically where prices are going up on goods and services, where our income is not going up. Okay, so we'll say you see inflation mostly at the gas station, the grocery store. You see it now you're going to see it in health care prices, from insurance. You're going to see it in a lot of areas. So inflation is for goods and services, but we got to get at a place where our income is going up faster than inflation.
And that's key. What she just said is key. Inflation, in other words, is this: the paycheck that people will get, some get on Friday, the paycheck that a lot of people will get tomorrow is not going to buy as much as the last paycheck did. And that's because prices are constantly going up. If we're not able to keep up with or have our income keep up, that gap of what it's costing versus our income, that gap is going to continue to get wider. Inflation is challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 is simply, now you got to think about, it's business owners that control prices of stuff. So right. When the cost of goods and the cost to produce stuff, or if you think about now with COVID, with being closed, how are they going to make up that revenue? They got to increase their prices. We've been taught to budget. Nothing wrong with budgeting, but budgeting is not going to outpace inflation.
Right.
Second financial challenge is taxes. Now, why taxes? Because when we're taught in America, we pay taxes based on how our money is earned. Most of the people in the pews have a job. Nothing wrong with a job. Be thankful for the job. But when working a job, your job is going to pay the highest in taxes to the tune of 1/3. So people lose 1/3 of their income due to taxes. Well, newsflash, the stimulus checks that went out, that money came from the government, and the government just not giving out free money. So how is the government going to recoup that $2.3 trillion, I think, that went out in stimulus checks? They're going to increase taxes. So let's think about this. I'm an employee. I work. Inflation is going to take more of my check because I'm going to have to pay more for the same things that I'm getting. Taxes is going to take another third of my check. And here I am stuck in the middle. And it's taxes that cause debt. Now, everybody, most of the people on this, you're affiliated with the ministry, in ministry, or somehow. Oh, yeah. What does the book that we reference, we're not ashamed of our faith, no. That we reference, the Bible, what does it call debt?
What does it cause?
Yeah, what does it call? The Bible says that debt is a what?
It's a curse.
Or it's a curse?
It's a curse.
It's a curse, right? Blessing, I mean, debt is a curse. But let's think about what caused us to get in debt. Losing a third in tax, exactly. A third in taxes is what caused us to get in debt.
That's correct. So
we lose a third in taxes, we go and get in debt. But when we get in debt, we don't pay back just what we borrow. We pay back more. Does that hurt our financial situation? Hurts it. Now, let me go back and rephrase. Inflation means prices are going up. Taxes means that's less of my money that I get to keep. With inflation, prices going up, taxes going up, that means one of two things as a consumer, as an employee, as a member. One of two things is going to have to go up. Either I'm going to have to be able to increase my income. If I can't increase my income, I'm going to end up increasing my debt. Think about it. Because I have to figure out a way to pay for my living, to make ends meet. So I'm either going to have to be able to increase my income. If not, my debt, that curse is going to increase.
That's right. Now,
that's why we're here. Because I don't think we understand how COVID has impacted. And that would, we were struggling with this. We were having these financial challenges back in January. Well, now it's compounded the situation because, before I could possibly get a pay raise or I could work more hours. Well, jobs now are closing. Jobs are laying off. Unemployment is high. So church leaders, pastors, what position does that put our members in? That's the first question. Second question is, that is going to have a trickle-down effect into the ministry itself. Because churches are made up of people. Have individual lives. So now our question is, how can we empower the people? Because the ministry is about empowering people. That's why we're here. So that we can help empower people with a solution to get over that. Now, Pastor Ojeda, in our community of educators, we have a saying that says, everybody in this pandemic is not losing.
Not losing.
Right? So if you think about, in times of chaos, people who can provide solutions win. If you think about, like, Pastor, if there was a way that we could have been making, let's just say, hand sanitizer before COVID, were we using right about now?
Trillions.
And that goes back to what I was saying. Never would we have thought we would go to grocery stores and they're out of hand sanitizer, they're out of Lysol, people are fighting over toilet tissue, people are fighting over paper towels, and now it's kind of eased up a little bit where when you go, it's limit one.
Right.
People who are making masks. I know people personally who dusted off some sewing machines and started.
That's right.
Because there's a need for it.
It's a need.
So pastors and ministry leaders, why we are here is because we are offering a solution to the one problem that most people in the wealthiest country in the world have. That is a solution to financial issues, to financial problems. That's why, believe it or not, there are a lot of people across this country who are actually in a position of being excited about their financial future, even in the midst of a pandemic.
Even a mess.
And the reason for that is because there's education and they see a solution to help their financial dilemma.
Right.
That's what we want to talk about. All right. So we've covered a lot, you know, and the thing is, and here's the thing, what we talked about and what we're going to talk about, you can't unhear what you're about to hear. You can't unhear what you've already heard, and you cannot unsee what you're going to see.
Right.
Now, in times of chaos, normally what we've been trained to do is a lot of times we'll be like, oh man, I need to go back to school and get a degree or go to trade school, learn a new skill so that'll help me make more income.
Right.
Or we go start and become a professional Googleologist. How to invest, how to this, how to that, how to buy and sell real estate, how to buy and sell foreign exchange, how to. And all that is still the same thing. It boils right back down to education to be able to get in a better financial position. Well, we are a group of educators. And what we do is we've partnered with a company that does just that, provide financial education that helps people get in a better financial position. So we're actually providing the solution to the thing that everybody's looking for. And we're doing it through a home-based business. Why a home-based business? Simply because, one, it's safer. Being home now, everybody's home now. People are a lot more open to the idea of having a home-based business. And what we do is we teach you the power of having a home-based business. Remember the 4 challenges or the 3 challenges we talked about: inflation, taxes, and debt? Having a home-based business addresses each one of those 3.
That's right.
Oh, when it comes down to, well, I'll take the first one. When it comes down to inflation, I heard somebody make a statement. I'm like, it's so true. If our only source of income is a job, our bank account is literally on life support.
It is.
If our only source of income, that's again, not to knock a job. Be thankful for the job.
That's right.
It was not designed to be the end all be all. So and we're seeing that now. People thought they had years of security. Well, COVID came and said, okay, that's closing, that's shutting down. So right. Inflation. So now if you have a home-based business, when the price of things start to go up, okay, no problem. You can focus on building your home-based business and generate the income to close the gap of what you're getting from your salary versus your home-based business. Pastor O, the second one we talked about was taxes. Explain to them, how does taxes help, how does having a home-based business help outpace or overcome the financial challenge when it comes down to taxes?
Good, you said that. Taxes with the home-based business is going to actually, like you said, close the gap with your growth, between your growth and your net. Let me give you an example. So say you make $100,000 a year, one of your members make $100,000 a year. 1/3 is $30,000 going to the government, and they're only bringing in $70,000. Okay. And so they didn't get their mortgage. They pay their tithes, hopefully off the 100,000, but they didn't get all of the things that they have, the cars and everything, off 70,000. They got it off 100,000. So with a home-based business, you're closing the gap, that 1/3, the highest percentage of just from the W-2 worker to adding that home-based business. You're closing the growth from the net, and it's no longer growth anymore to have that money go to the government. It's coming back into their household. That's a big deal, okay? When they're just a W-2 worker, they're paying up to 37% in taxes. With a home-based business, they go down from 18 to 23. Their lifestyle changes dramatically. That's taxes.
Now, I want to clear up one thing. We are not talking about tax evasion.
No.
Right? What we're talking about is tax efficiency, tax minimization, right? So
legally,
talking about tax evasion. Exactly, right? So basically, again, what she was saying is with the home-based business, you're able to use the, like everybody's on Zoom right now, right? You're either joining Zoom from your cell phone or from your iPad, laptop, or whatever. Well, you're doing it through your internet. Well, because we have a home-based business, you put a person side by side who has a home-based business who doesn't, we're able to claim our internet as a business expense. If I needed to go buy a new laptop, that's a business expense. I drove, I'm driving as I talk to people. Now I'm getting paid to drive my car, and my mileage is tax deductible. My cell phone is a business expense. I'm going to live somewhere, whether it's an apartment or whether it's rent. A portion of my rental apartment is a tax deduction. Mm-hmm. That's why it's important to have a home-based business. And what we do is we show people, and that's the thing that's missing in the ministries. It's missing in the church. I'm sorry, I don't want to say like it's absolute. In a lot of churches, it's missing that element and that focus on entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. Entrepreneurship has its privileges. It helps lower your taxes. It helps you, one, get ahead of inflation. Two, it helps you lower your highest bill, which is your taxes. And number three, that income that's made from your business can help you accelerate paying off your debt. Right. That the Bible calls a curse. That's what we're trying to get people freed from, the bondage of the curse of debt. Now, how do we do it? All right. We're going to shift gears. So we understand the home-based business, the company that we've partnered with, and we provide financial education. Company that we've partnered with is a company called Make Wealth Real Financial, which is MWR Financial. I'm going to show you how, and Pastor O and I are going to show you how this is going, how it works and runs parallel and hand in hand with the ministry. All right. Let me get back over here and share my screen. Sorry, guys, on Facebook, you're not going to be able to see my screen. But if you want, I can send you the link. All right, Pastor O, can you give me a thumbs up? Can you see the screen?
Thumbs up.
Perfect. All right, a lot of this information we've already talked about, okay? All right, so I'm going to go straight to MWR, Make Wealth Real Financial. We talked about having a home-based business. Now, I'm going to skip through some of these slides. It was just updated. I'm going to come back to that one. Ministries, here's how it can help. Yeah, let me go here. Here's how it can help the ministries. Let me come off screen share, and then I come back. All right. Here's how I can help ministries. Because we're offering financial education, right? And the financial education is geared toward helping with the 4 key areas that we all have. There are 4 key financial areas in everybody's life. Wealthy people have a team of experts who help them with those areas. Mm-hmm. I'll say that again. Wealthy people have a team of experts who help them in those areas. Most of us are taught to do it alone. Mm-hmm. Think about one wealthy person that you know of who does not have a business of some type. Outside of insurance or outside of the lottery. Can you think of anybody who does not have a home base or a business of some type? That's wealthy. And when I mean by wealthy, I'm not talking about rich. All right, I want to clear that up. Wealth isn't just about money. Wealth is having an abundance of resources. Now, here's something that I said. My personal mission is I want to be in a place financially that when I see a person with a need, I can do more than just pray for them. Like legitimate need. So here's how MWR, what we do, all we do is expose people to Make Wealth Real Financial. Now, there are 4 key areas that everybody have in their financial world, and we have to be able to master those 4 areas. If we don't, and the challenge is sometimes we get one down packed, or we end up doing it on, or try to do it on our own, and it gets, it gets a little hairy. And then we just mess it up. It's a lot to try to juggle all this on your own. Here's what wealthy people have figured out. There are 4 key areas. Number 1 is tax management. Number 2, debt management. Number 3, credit management. And number 4, wealth management. Again, if you're taking notes, tax management, debt management, credit management, and wealth management. How does that merge into our ministries? A lot of people in the church, we talk about stewardship. A lot of people in the church are living paycheck to paycheck, quite honestly. And it's not their fault in a lot of cases. It's just we lack the financial education to do any different or do any better. So, tax management, credit management, debt management, and wealth management. Those 4 key areas. And here's how it works. With making wealth real financial, it helps with tax management. Let me go there. Let me go through that and share that so that we can see. Because I want us to really look at here, and I'll share this. Thumbs up if you can see that. Perfect. All right. Here's what MWR Financial focuses on. Those 4 key areas. Remember, tax management. Their wealthy people have a group of experts who help them minimize their taxes through strategies. One of their strategies is having a business. Hence the question I asked earlier. Name one wealthy person who you can think of who don't have a business. That's one of the strategies. Now, and in the tax management piece of it, so you have Money Max that helps with the tax management, Credit Max that helps with the credit management, Equity Max that helps with debt management, and Wealth Max that helps with wealth management. Here's how they work. With Money Max, simply there's a portal that everyone gets. You upload your last 2 pay stubs, and it gets sent to a group of financial experts who are trained by the IRS. They're enrolled agents. The highest form of tax experts are enrolled agents. They go through the person's pay stubs and make sure that they have the paperwork filled out correctly. What paperwork are we talking about? The Form W-4. That's the form that tells your employer how much to withhold in taxes. Now, why is that important? The IRS states that 83% of working people have that form filled out wrong. What does that mean? Most of you that are watching me live or on this Zoom with me now have that form filled out wrong, which means there's more being withheld in taxes than what is supposed to. Here's how I put it. People are bringing home a smaller paycheck than what they're legally supposed to, which is why a lot of people work 2 jobs or increase their debt because their paycheck is smaller than what it's supposed to be. Now, Pastor O, isn't it amazing how when we go, like we'll go out, and I'm sorry, I had to mute you, so I mute everybody out. It's funny how we will go somewhere and our bill is, just to say $19.90, and we'll give them a $20 bill and won't leave until they give us that 10 cents back because they overpaid. We overpaid, right? I want my change. Yet the IRS says 83% of working Americans are overpaying their taxes and bringing home a smaller paycheck than what they're supposed to. Let's fix that issue.
Right.
Then the second one is Credit Max. That helps with credit. Pastor O, can you kind of explain what Credit Max does and how that works?
Credit Max, basically you're going to load your 3 credit bureaus in your private portal. Nobody will see your credit reports but the experts who's going to be working on your behalf. Now with credit, you understand when your credit score goes up, your interest rates go down. It is, it's credit is how you pay for money, okay? And it determines, I didn't even know, I knew credit was important, but I didn't know every point really counts. Our company is going to tell you your uploaded date. It's going to tell you a completion date when it's connected with the expert. But what's really real is that you really want every point. I had a 774, a 775 when I started with this company, But now that I know better, I need a 850. So I even loaded up my credit reports up, and I've been getting things eliminating off of my credit report. So yeah, it is credit it determines how much you pay for money. Okay. And you do want every point. It is important. So when the points go up, you can go to your car insurance and get a new premium, house insurance, all of that. And in this day and time, your credit score is connected to if you're going to get the job or not. So that's
Absolutely.
really, really big in this era that we're living in.
Absolutely. So moving forward from Credit Max to Equity Max. Equity Max is the debt elimination tool. So simply type in all of your creditors, everybody that you owe, the mortgage, the car note, the credit card, everyone that you owe, and type that in there, the monthly payment, the minimum amount, when it's due, and so forth. And it will literally give you a plan to get out of debt. Literally. And it will tell you the month and year that you will be debt free. Now, here's the thing. If we continue to make minimum payments, believe it or not, your creditors will have you paying until you die and beyond. That's why it's important. That's why debt is called a curse.
Yes.
Because it will literally rob you of what God said, which was he gives us the ability to create or obtain wealth.
Right.
Debt will rob you of that ability. Right. Now, also in Equity Max is another pillar where we just started with Bill Shredder. And Bill Shredder is where you upload like your monthly payments, like your monthly expenses, like your cell phone bill, your utilities, your internet. And Bill Shredder is a new concept where they will go and negotiate on your behalf to negotiate reducing your monthly bills. Again, everything we talked about, Money Max, being able to get more money back in your paycheck, that's money staying with you. Credit Max, being able to get your credit, your credit scores up, your interest rates down, better interest rates when you borrow money, that's money that stays with you. Equity Max, being able to eliminate your debt, that's money that stays with you. Mm-hmm. The last one is Wealth Max. Wealth Max is where you work with a group of experts with a consultation to do two particular things. One is a concept called land banking. The second one is a private reserve account. Wealthy people don't put their money in checking or savings. Wealthy people don't have, most of the time don't invest their money in the stock market because it's so volatile. They put their money in a private reserve account that's protected from loss and continues to grow even when the stock market is down. That's great. In land banking, the group will help, and I always use this analogy. Think about your local Walmart. And, before that Walmart, before it was the land was cleared and everything, Walmart went in and did some research and they identified this particular path of land. There was a group of investors that kind of had an idea based on certain market conditions that people are coming in to buy this land and start building commercial. So what they did was they pooled their resources and went in and bought that tract of land and waited for the deal to hit the table, 3, 5, 7, 10 years. And when Walmart says, all right, it's time for us to make a move, that group of investors say, hey, I own part of that land and you have to buy me out. That's what Wealth Max does. That's a wealth building strategy with private reserve accounts. And now that in and of itself starts the process of becoming an entrepreneur, having a business owner or being a business owner, but not just any business owner. It's owning a business in a space that everybody's trying to or everyone is looking for improvement, and that's in their finances. Whether you make $5 an hour or $500,000 a year, everybody's focused on how can I grow my money and keep it faster than I can spend it. Mm-hmm. There is a compensation component that goes to this, and that's what we want to talk about. So how does this merge into the ministry? If I was a betting man, there are people in every congregation right now that's praying for a financial breakthrough.
Yes.
Trying to figure out a way to stop robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Question is, why did it have to be two apostles? I'm just Why couldn't it have been Tom and you know, Tom and Richard? It had to be Peter, Peter and Paul. Anyway, that's just a me thing, right? So what this does is this provides education to give them a solution to help fix the financial dilemma that they're in.
Right.
And what some ministries that we're partnering with are doing, they're allowing us to introduce this concept to their ministry.
Right.
Help their ministry, the members with their finances, which in turn benefits the ministry itself, as well as the pastors able to relieve and eliminate a lot of the stress from the financial stress of having to carry the load of trying to figure out how to make the ministry survive financially, especially in this unprecedented time.
Right.
So I made a commitment on time, but what I did want to do is and I see he's back on camera. I want to introduce you guys to a guy that I have a ton of respect for. I asked him if he would come and share his story because he and his father's a pastor, and his father was introduced to this concept by one of our partners, Charles Ivory. And what they did was they implemented this concept and introduced this to the ministry. So I just want, and I see Larry Murray, can you give me a mic check and come off mute?
Mic check, mic check.
Man, I hear you loud and clear. Man, look, first of all, thanks again for taking time out of your schedule. Man, you're an awesome leader. A lot of people are connecting with you, and you're doing major things and changing lives at the age of what, 26?
Yes, sir, 26.
26. One thing we have in common, I'm a bass player, he's a drummer, I'm an educator, he's an educator. I somewhat
Yeah. Yes, sir.
he coaches, so we got a lot in common. But Larry, man, if you would take a couple minutes and just share like what's been your experience with the partnership with Making Wealth Real, and what have you and your dad done in terms of being able to bring this information, this education, and this opportunity into your ministry there?
Yes, sir. First of all, I just want to tell you, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on your Zoom today to be able to present this wonderful information to all of your prospects that are on here. I see you have different people that's from the church. My mom is actually on this Zoom right now. She's listening, you know what I'm saying? So she is excited about the business as well. She's in it along with my dad. And I'm telling you, this has been a great opportunity. My parents actually tried to get me to join the business back in January. You know, I told them no, you know, I mean, I thought I had a lot going on, you know, things like that. But I took a step back and looked at the opportunity for myself, and I'm saying, okay, well, look, this opportunity is wonderful. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, well, I need to step back and look at this information that's being presented to me. I took it upon myself to take advantage of the services along with the compensation plan by just simply exposing the opportunity, like you said back before. All we do is expose. All we do is just expose this information. We expose the Financial Edge membership. We expose the 10 income streams that you can make by just simply sharing the business, just sharing the opportunity, sharing these wealth strategies with people that actually need it. You know what I mean? We're in a pandemic right now, and people are looking for another stream of income. They're also looking for how to increase their cash flow. You know what I'm saying? This is not a good time. You know, a lot of people are swiping their credit cards for basic necessities and going in debt. You know what I mean? It's crazy out here. So we have to be able to outpace all these things, all of these challenges that you discussed before. You know what I'm saying? And we have a Financial Edge membership that does everything for you. Like he said, it's ran by a team of financial experts enrolled by the IRS. So the experience has been amazing, man. I enjoy helping people. You know what I mean? I enjoy helping people. My dad, you know, he took it to another level, and he got the church involved. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to set it up, you know, to where our church, both my parents have two churches. So he was able to set it up for where both of our churches are bringing in residual income. You know what I'm saying? So both of our churches right now are at $600 a month, I believe. And so it's crazy because now both of our churches are almost at area director. And it's kind of funny. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Both of our churches are almost bringing in, you know, $1,000, $1,900 a month. So it's incredible, man. It's a no-brainer. I tell people all the time. I just did a Zoom as well, man. I'm telling people, look, you guys have to just shift your mindset, because a lot of people, they see different opportunities, but they may think it's a scam. They may think it's a scheme. They may think it's this or that. But this is all the way legit, man. Me and my parents wouldn't tie ourselves into anything that was a scheme or a scam. You know what I mean? So our reputation is out there. You know, we really care about who we are and what we do in our community. And we're trying to bring our whole community onto this opportunity, I'm telling you, because we can help a lot of people. And all you have to do is expose, and we have a team of experts at your disposal to work for you. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I love it. I love it, man.
Man, wow. Look, when you dropped some stuff, I'm like, you putting down faster than I can pick up, man.
Yes, sir.
One thing that just stood out, and then we'll wrap. You talked about the business side. So from my understanding, your parents enrolled in the business and then enrolled the church, the ministry right under them. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct. That's correct.
And so now the people who are enrolling from the ministry are enrolling under the church.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's producing revenue for the church to either help with a building fund,
yes, sir,
or help with just a regular general expense account.
I'm telling you.
But here's the win-win that I want to make sure we don't miss. It's helping the individual members get in a better financial position through education, also through an entrepreneurship opportunity.
Yes, sir.
And the ministry is able to benefit financially, as well as it's taking a lot of pressure from the pastors and the ministry leaders, because they're able to see the growth from the individual member that's being a blessing to the ministry, that's also being a blessing to the leader. I asked this leader once, I said, would you have a problem or would you want to, and a lot of pastors, I know sometimes are full-time, and even their income has shifted because we haven't been able to travel, haven't been able to hold revivals and things of so forth like we used to. I asked, would you be open to creating a stream of income from the ministry that does not come out of the ministry's budget?
Exactly.
And that's what we're able to do with this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Larry, man, I appreciate you. And if you share, because you mentioned that the church is bringing in $600 residual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Both churches.
That's every single month because the members are taking advantage of the Financial Edge membership.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all you got to do.
And now, if one last thing, if you would share, man, you talked about the church. Now, can you just share real quick in about 60 seconds or less? How has this been a game changer for you personally from a financial side?
Yes, sir. From a financial side, man, this has been definitely a game changer, man. We're talking about, like we are both, we're both teachers, as everybody knows, us teachers doesn't make that much money, you know what I mean? So I'm just excited that I was able to just triple my income, by just simply exposing the opportunity, man. Like,
I'm sorry. You flew past that so fast. Did you say you were able to triple your educator salary?
Yes, sir. I tripled my educator salary, man, at 26 years old, man.
At 26.
At 26, man. And the thing is, I tell everybody all the time, all you have to do is just expose. I mean, if you take the opportunity to look at the information, and all the information that you're giving right now, this is all the information that you need to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer. And I'm telling you, my friends, I have a lot of friends in my community right here. I'm trying to shift their mindsets. And it's crazy, man, because they see me making this money. They see how far I'm going into the business, but it's still hard for them to come on because they're trying to figure out. I feel like they're just watching me, trying to figure out how far I'm going to go. And I'm just over here leaving them. And I'm like, man, y'all could come join me, man. This is because the thing is, I help everybody out under my organization, such as you, man. You're doing the same thing, man. You're doing a prospect zone. We help everybody out and get them the information. We're putting the information in front of them. And I'm telling you, man, I'm just at a loss for words, man, because personally, like I said, I got my educator salary. Now I'm making triple what I'm making at my educator salary, along with my other jobs that I have. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. So I'm just blessed, man. I'm thankful for my parents for putting me on an opportunity along with Mr. Charles Ivory. And I'm just so thankful, man. I'm thankful and blessed.
Man, I appreciate my co-host, Pastor Ojeda.
Yes, man.
I appreciate you, Larry, man, for taking time out of your schedule to come and share.
Yes,
Pastor ministry leaders, I did not intentionally, I did not go very heavy into the compensation plan. And the reason for that is, let's do that one-on-one. If you see this as a benefit to you and your ministry, the company pays up to 10 different ways. That can create 10 different revenue streams for your ministry and help, especially now with this time of uncertainty. You know, let's talk about how we can pool our resources, how we can have group economics and start burning some of these mortgages. Let's talk about how we can have some mortgage burning services, because we're helping to empower our people get in a better financial position, which benefits the ministry and benefits the pastor as well. Listen, again, I'm Cornelius Austin out of Rocky Mount. Thanks again for your time. Thanks for hopping on and joining. Pastor Ojeda, thank you again. Larry Murray. Now, as I close, I'm going to close this a little different. Normally, when we have an education session like this, there are 3 types of people. I'm going to narrow that down. There are 2 types of people that have seen this information. Number 2 says, I'm good, sounds okay, but I don't think this is something that I want to bring to my ministry or incorporate on any level, whether helping you personally, financially, or your ministry. That's a number 2 that says, I'm good with what I have. A number 1 says, I see an opportunity in how we can be a blessing to the body of Christ. Let's have another conversation where we can do a deeper dive in how we can connect the dots. My question and my ask is, number 2, if you just get back with whoever it was to let you know and let them know if you're number 2, meaning we're good, I don't think this is something I want to bring to my ministry, or number 1, I'm open to an additional conversation, just text the person that you, or get back with the person who invited you. Let them know if you're a 2, no thanks. A number 1, let's have another conversation. I'm going to close with this. He says he gives us the ability to obtain and create wealth. God knew we needed furniture, but he gave us trees. If he's given us the opportunity to create and obtain wealth, he'll give us an opportunity to do that. So I want you to think about everything that we talked about, our conversation, our discussion. Get back with the person, let them know if you're a 2, we're good. If you're so, thank you for taking the time. If you're a 1, then let's set up and coordinate the schedule with whoever it was that invited you to have another conversation to go and do a deeper dive on in how this can help you and your ministry. All right, until next time, thanks again, man. God bless. You all enjoy the rest of your evening.
God bless.
Thanks again, Pastor O.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Had fun.
Appreciate you.